Good morning, students. I'm Dr. Vaishali from Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery Department. Today our topic is principles of elevators. See, what is elevator? In last lecture I had explained you about the exodontia. So the principles of exodontia means what? Actually, when you are going for extraction, you have to expand the socket. What does it mean? Means the tooth is inside the socket and you have to extract the tooth out. It won't come out easily. So basically you have to expand the socket. How will expand the socket? So for that we use the elevators. Now these elevators are the instrument. It is having blade, shank and handle. It is most probably used when the tooth is firm. If grade 3 mobile, then there is no need of luxators or elevators. Easily the tooth will extracted by the forceps. But in case if the tooth is firm, if grossly decayed or the crown has been fractured or root stumps are there, so we cannot apply the forceps. So that's why initially we have to expand the socket. So that time we use the elevators. So these are the indications to remove the fractured tooth, to loosen the tooth, to split the tooth. For this purpose we are using the elevators. Now see, these are the components of the elevators are this handle, shank and blade. See, whenever you are applying the forces on this handle, it is transferred to the blade with the help of this shank. And whenever you are applying this, whenever you are using this instrument, there is one rule how to hold this. Your thumb should be over this and your index finger should lie on this, so that this instrument is very dangerous while using. If you will not use it properly, it can slip in the oral, because in the oral cavity, the cavity is full of the mucosa and the saliva. It is wet, so there is more chances of slipping of this instrument. And if it will slip, in case of maxilla, it can pierce to the soft palate or the hard palate. And in the mandible, it can pierce to the floor of the mouth. So be careful while using this instrument. And see, always this as I told you initially only. Now while using this instrument, there is a principle, that is the mechanical principles of the elevators. It is based on three. There are three principles. First is the lever, wedge and wheel and axial. Now this lever principle is see, this principles we are using in our daily life. You ever saw sometime you are passing by the roads and all, that time you see some laborers are working, whether constructions are going on, some big rock is there and they have to lift that rock. It's not easy to lift such a big rock easily with a one or two people. So they used to use some tact, and that this type of tact we are using everywhere. So what they used to do, they'll place a big rod, this like this, they'll place a rod below this object which has to be lifted, and they'll place some object below this rod. So what is this? This is a fulcrum. Clear? This is your resistant arm and this is your effort arm. So what this person is doing, he is putting the effort on this end. So because of this fulcrum, he is easily lifting this up. See here, this is your lever 1 type, simple mechanical. This is basically used, mostly all the elevators are used in this principle. You can see this. This is the lever 1. What is happening over here? So fulcrum is between the effort. This is your effort arm and this is your resistance arm. Clear? So in exodontia, or while using these elevators, what we used to do, this is your handle, this is your alveolar bone, and this is the end or the blade of the periosteal elevators, which or the elevator, which is inserted between the socket and the tooth. So when you are applying like this, means you are using the fulcrum as a bone. So when you are giving the pressure on this end, so what happened, the tooth will pop up, or it will create a gap between the tooth and the bone. So this lever are of three types: first class, second class and third class. These all are divided or differentiated or classified on the basis where the fulcrum is. Clear? So in this was the first class lever, and this what happened. See here, the resistant arm is smaller than the effort arm. So if you'll consider this as a four parts, so this part is 3 of the total and this is of 1 part. So that's why long arm is 3 by 4 of a total arm, and short arm is 1 by 4 of a total arm. So that's why this is your resistant arm and this is effort arm. Clear? So that's why mechanical advantage is 3. So all the elevators mostly used are having first class lever will give you the mechanical advantage of 3. Clear? In the second, this is a second class lever. See, initially you saw when the old people are eating that betel nut, they'll crush that betel nut with one instrument. See, this is this instrument. You all see in the olden days people used to use this. See, this is your betel nut. They'll press this end, and this is the hinge. So this is your effort arm, this is your fulcrum, and this is your load arm. Clear? So this is the second type of lever. Here what happened? The fulcrum is on the one side, effort arm and the load is in the other side. In case of third class, what happens? The lever and effort arm is on the one side and load is on the another side. So this is used in our instruments. In case of the tweezer or the tissue holding forceps, the hinge is on the one side and the the arms are on the other side, and we are pressing the arm. So that what happened, whenever you want to pick the any cotton or any tissue, we will hold that instrument and we'll press the instrument in the middle. So what happened, that you can hold, that means you can do your work, or you can hold or can lift the cotton or the any tissue with the help of the when after pressing the middle portion. So what is happening? Hinge, that means the fulcrum and the effort is on the one side, and the tooth, that means the lifting part is on the another side. Clear? This is of the third class lever. Now this is the wedge principle. Wedge principle you all knows. In case of whenever you are going for endodontic treatment, we are using the wedges. We are using that wedges between the two teeth, because when the contact areas are very stiff, we cannot place the instrument between, or we cannot place the band between these two teeth. That time we used to place the wedges between these two teeth. So what happened? Slowly the tooth gets separated. The same funda or the principles we are using over here. What happened? See, in this is your effort arm, this is your resistance. Actually this is your effort arm, this is your load arm. See, this is your height, this is your, what is this? Anyone can tell? This is your height and this is your length. Clear? So now we are using the elevator like this. When we are inserting the elevator like this, this is your resistance arm, that is means load arm, and here will be your handle. So that will be your, what is that? What is this? Anyone can tell? This is your handle. So here you are giving the effort. So that's why whenever you are, see, just now I told you, this is your bone and you are using this bone as a fulcrum. Clear? So wedge principles are used in most probably in case of apexo elevators, or it is single type or double type, means two wedges are used. In case of the forceps, the two blades are there. These two blades are inserted between the bone and the tooth on both the sides, so that we can lift the tooth out easily. Here the same principles, means this principle are used singly, single principle can be used, or the two principles can be used at a time. So in case of forceps, whenever you are using the forceps to extract the tooth, that time you are using these two principles. What is this? First principle is the wedging. Your blades of the forceps are wedging between the tooth and the bone, that is alveolar socket. Clear? And when you are lifting it out, that is your lever principle. So these principles are used individually also and can be used along with another can be used two principles together. You also see the effort arm upon resistance upon effort arm, that is 10. That is 10 means what and 4 means what? 10 is the length and 4 is the height. So that's why the mechanical advantage is 2.5. Clear? So apexo elevator or the Warwick gem are the examples of this. This what happened in case of wedge. What happens if the angulation is more? It will give it will require less pressure. It requires less pressure to extract the tooth out. And the last is the, see, this is the type of how to hold the instrument. Clear? Here you are inserting the tooth elevator inside to extract the tooth root strip out. Because of this, there won't be any slipping of the instrument. Clear? And the last is this. wheel and axial. In this wheel and axial, what happened, this is your small arm, this is your wheel, and this is your axial. So this is, whenever you are giving the pressure, this both are rotating, so this will give a tremendous mechanical advantage. Here the mechanical advantage is 4.6.